What is this, a new cave? Where are the stalagmites and stalactites? Well, they're not in world generation yet, but we are going to be covering all of that in today's episode. It is 20w48a, which adds a few texture changes, some bundle changes, and some stalagmite and stalactite changes. We have this new dripstone block, as well as I assumed it was here, pointed dripstone, which can go in any direction. So we have a lot to cover in today's snapshot, 20w48a. Let's jump in. So first off, we are going to be covering dripstone and the pointed dripstone. So I have just replaced the natural generation that is happening inside of this cave, and I placed my own pointed dripstone. So here are the two new things. These are brand new things to this snapshot. So dripstone, it looks like just a straight up normal block. There doesn't seem to be anything super special about it other than its new texture. It is a very, very pink texture. I would say that it's closest to granite, as you can see right there in texture. Or maybe actually ancient debris. It kind of reminds me of ancient debris. Where ancient debris is much darker. Much, much darker. Yeah, maybe it's not ancient debris, but there you go. So that is the new texture of that block. It doesn't seem to have any special properties at all. Next, though, is pointed dripstone, and it is this, you know, it's kind of like plant-like, like flower-like, in that it is those really sharp textures that form like a thing, like, all, you know, I don't know how to just, it's like paper. It's made out of paper. It's so thin. That's what this looks like to me. So from far away, it looks pretty cool hanging up there. And then as you get close, you know, the illusion kind of breaks a little bit, especially if you're directly below this. So this works like, what, is there any other type of thing? Maybe kelp, where you place one down if you're in creative mode, and it's itty-bitty. Bamboo works kind of like this as well. You place one down, it's itty-bitty, and then you place another one, and it grows, and another one, and it grows, and another one, and it grows. So we have a few different growth states of this. I'm sure that if we hit F3, there it is, F3, you can see a few of its variables. So we got pointed dripstone. Its thickness, this is thickness that I'm pointed at right now, is middle. It's pointed down, and it's not waterlogged, so I guess that these can be waterlogged. So that's middle. Let's see what other we got. Frustrum. It's frustrated. It can't be small or middle. And then we also have tip. Okay, so we have middle, frustrum, and tip. Now then, this dripstone thing that I'm using right now. Let's get out of F3. This will go down, but it'll also go up. So it'll go in the other direction, and it doesn't have to be placed on that dripstone block. It can be placed anywhere. So we also have it pointed up as an option, and I kind of want to see something real fast. If we kind of make these meet in the middle. Aha, they do a new thing. Okay, that's what I was wondering. So we had frustrum, if you remember that. I'm also going to bring that one up to the top. That's interesting. You can go all the way up there. If I was to click up there, no, I can't do that. So anyway, so you have to have two already before they kind of meet. So let's check out these states. We have base, that's a state, middle again, frustrum again, and tip again. And then we have tips merge. So it looks like there's 5 different things. There's base. Is this a base up here? Yeah, base is 1, middle is 2, frustrum is 3, tip is 4, and then tip merge is 5. So those are the 5 different states. And then it looks like these are waterloggable. So let's try that. So this is dripstone, pointed dripstone in water. Waterloggable, definitely. We can also go in the opposite direction, I assume. Yep. So this is what it looks like in the water. Pretty simple stuff. I kind of expected it to be waterloggable. Here they are joining. That looks pretty cool. I like that. Now, let's, I want to test a few things. So some of these are dripping. Most of them are dripping. It looks like that's kind of their natural state. And it mentioned in the blog post that they had with this, that if there was any water or lava above them, they would drip that thing appropriately, depending on what's above them. These don't have anything above them. They're just naturally dripping water. And it was mentioned during the live stream of Minecon Live that these would fill cauldrons. So I'm going to do a little bit of experiments with that. Okie dokie. So to test out this cauldron theory, I have an absurd amount of cauldrons and a pretty good amount of dripstone up there. One thing I've noticed while doing this exercise is you can hear the drips. There's lots of drip sounds happening, and I really like them. I think that will add, especially if you walk into a dripstone cave, I think that'll add a lot of atmosphere. I really, really, really like that. So right now, this doesn't seem to be filling any cauldron. I'm going to let this run for a bit, but I'm wondering if this particle is just a look, because it was specifically mentioned in the blog post that you needed a water source block, and I'm wondering if these need a water source block above them before they will start filling up the cauldrons. That's going to be my guess. So I've set up a situation here where just one layer above all of my dripstone here, I can easily replace that area with either water or air. So notice the drips, okay? Think of the timing of the drips. That's what I want you to pay attention to. When I come up here and I replace this whole area with water, it starts dripping a lot more frequently and a lot louder, basically. And I'm wondering if now, see, all of our cauldrons, oh well, except for that one. All of our cauldrons were empty, and now they are starting to fill. So it looks like the only way to fill a cauldron with this is to have water source blocks above that area. That is the way to actually get a cauldron to fill. Now, also mentioned was that this would work with lava. Jeez, that scared me. Holy moly. Okay, well, apparently all the water still had issues. So there's the lava up there. And so now, oh my gosh. How do you hear that? That is so funny. Okay, so I'm going to replace some of this, and my hope is that this is a way. Look at that! Wait a second. Did that fill that up? Will this eventually turn into lava? We need to remember this block right here. Wait, that's a bad way to remember it. Here, I'm going to put a cauldron above this cauldron, because that filled up. Oh, wait, what? They're filling up so fast. Do they just go to 100? Cauldrons. What is it? Calm down. Oh my god, they just go straight to 100. I'm watching it happen right in front of me. They don't. Weird. I feel like that's a bug because, anyway, this is a way to have unlimited and renewable lava, which is fantastic. That one bucket of lava can easily make a lava cauldron if you get some dripstone, which we're going to cover, I think, next. Some survival stuff about it. Which is really, really interesting. So let's switch into survival mode, because I want to see, do these drips hurt you if they're filling up lava? I also want to change the difficulty. Let's change it to hard, just to make sure that, because I'm on peaceful, it didn't cause any issues. Doesn't look like it. Looks like these lava drips don't hurt, but obviously if I get into a cauldron, that'll hurt. So interesting. Let's put myself out here. There we go. Very, very, very crazy. It would be cool if lava dropped into a thing. It would like take down the water level one at a time until it started to fill with lava. That would be neat. But that is a way to get unlimited lava in your world. Really cool stuff. So my chat room, and I'm recording this on Twitch right now, is mentioning that the reason that it doesn't incrementally fill up is because there are no bottles of lava. Obviously, you got just buckets of lava, so there is no way to incrementally increase these like rain or like the drips do. They just fill with lava, which is kind of cool. And yes, you could go to the nether to get unlimited lava, but this is a nice way to get unlimited lava in the overworld without dealing with the nether. And also, whenever you pull lava out of the lava lakes, it kind of destroys the lava lakes. No fun. So I really, really like this option. So I want to test out a few different ways to break these stalagmites and stalactites and see what we get back in survival mode. So I have a stone pick. Oh. I am in creative. This is a bad way to test stuff in survival mode if I'm in creative. Okay, survival mode now. Let's break this one. What do we get? Okay, we get it back with stone. So every level Let me try with wood, I guess. Okay, now I have a wood pick. Will wood break it? I get it. So every level of pick, you will get that back. Also, I noticed earlier that if I was to break a middle portion, the bottom portion falls, and then when it falls, you get that item as well. Also, this seems to be stopping lava up there, which is kind of cool. So I'm gonna try to mine the base of this. You'll see the whole thing falls, and I get them all back. So I have all of that pointed dripstone, and I assume, yep, even in survival, you can kind of craft that situation. So I assume that these are like spikes, and if I just do a jump, oh yeah, see, just a single high, I took a heart of damage. Now that is on hard difficulty with no armor, but yeah, so that does hurt if you fall. And then let's try if it falls on me. So I'm gonna try to break this, and then same thing, gave me 1 heart of damage. I wonder if a much larger thing fell on me, if it would hurt me more. So there's a stalactite, I had to remember it, stalactite way up there. I'm gonna set one of its blocks to, no blocks were filled. What? Oh, that's because I did the wrong thing. There we go. There we go. It's falling. It should hit me. And I'm in creative mode again, of course. In survival mode, let's try. Creeper, you stay away. Now that I'm in survival mode. Okay. Does it hurt a lot? Oh, yes. Oh, wow. That hurt a lot. So, found out something interesting. It can go all the way to the build limit. So there is no limit on how big one of these can go, I assume. I'm not at bedrock, but I would just assume. You break it. Can I break it with my hand? Do you think I get that block back? And there's no knowing now. And it falls. Now this was a pointed one, so this isn't gonna fall on me. I want to test next to see if just one of those blocks falling from a high spot would kill me, or if it needs to be a big line of them like it was. Okay, for this test, it's hard to see, but I only have 2 up there. I have 2 dripstone, pointed dripstone, I guess I should call them. And that will only let 1 fall, because I'm gonna break one of them. So there we go, 1 is falling. It still killed me, just 1 block killed me. So it is based off of the height that would be the determining factor of the it's basically almost like fall damage in a way. This time we are going to do the same test, but this time I'm going to be in full netherite, unenchanted netherite, but full netherite. So let's see, boop, it's fallen. Ooh, so it hurt me a good deal, but it did not kill me, which is good, I guess. I mean, it just shows that netherite armor is powerful, which we expect. Whoa, look at that! Oh, that is crazy! It damaged the helmet way more than it damaged anything else, and it damaged it a lot. A lot! Wow. I did not expect that. So, just for reference, that took 200, almost 200, durability from the helmet, from a netherite helmet. That is a lot of damage. That is an insane amount of damage for that one thing. Now, one other crazy thing is that you can break this stuff, not only with your hand and all the other stuff, but with a trident. So a trident will break the chain. Here, actually, let me get a arrow, a bow and arrow. You'd think that might do it. But a bow and arrow that will not break the stalactite, but a trident, when smacking it, that will. So if you want to set up some type of trap, you can do that with a trident, which is kind of cool. Okay, I have some more experiments to run. First off is a crossbow that has a firework in it. That does not, unfortunately, that does not break the stalactite. And then next is a trident, but instead, earlier I just had loyalty, just for the recording. We have Riptide on this. So I wonder, it did not break it. I broke myself, but that did not break the stalactite, which is a bug. I feel like that needs to be fixed. Okay, one other thing I want to test. This time, the netherite armor is enchanted with projectile protection. So let's see if we can get, there we go, this to fall. Oh, all that's fallen. No, that did not help at all. So projectile protection is not the same as falling stalactites. All right, this time, first off, I have 2 absorption hearts because I ate a golden apple, but I'm going to use a shield as it comes down. So let's see if this affects anything. Shield up. Huh, nope. I don't think the shield helped at all because it took away the absorption hearts and a ton of damage. My poor helmet still hurts a lot. So, man, this is, I feel like they just haven't coded that stuff in yet because that just kind of seems absurd. Also, the hitbox is pretty good, I guess. It's an interesting hitbox. You could use it as stairs, except if you accidentally miss, you take a heart of damage. And once again, oh, is that hurting my shoes a little bit more, I wonder? Because of, you know, if the thing hit me on the head actually hurt me, let's do this, and let's go up, I guess, 10 blocks. Let's try that. Oh, well, I just died. I found the boots. It doesn't look like they took any extra durability, so I think that rules out that theory. I kind of want to test with these mobs, at what point do they die? So that's 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 4 blocks. I may have lost count. I think that's 5. Oh, that's a little baby. He died. Okay, so it looks like at this height right here, they just die instantly, which could really help out some grinders in terms of size. Oh my gosh. Does it take any extra? No, it doesn't. Ooh, they were smart about that. The chicken does not take that extra fall damage, which is kind of cool. Pistons and sticky pistons just straight up break it. They don't move stalactites or stalagmites. I guess I should call it pointed dripstone because it could be either. Just a cool thing if they're touching and connected like this, where you have the stalactite and the stalagmite together, and you break it, only the one that you broke will break. It won't break the whole chain, which is kind of cool. Okay, now we're going to move on to some changes. So obviously dripstone and the pointed dripstone, those are brand new, but some things have just adjusted in this snapshot too. One of which is the telescope. This is really, really cool that before it was an item, it was just an item texture, and you'd hold it up to your hand, you know, your face, and it was kind of like that. It was like food or any other thing, and it's like, you know, it's not really a 3D thing. It's just a 2D thing that they've kind of extruded a little bit. Now, it is a 3D thing, and also it aligns to about where a player's eye would be. Now, I have large eyes, so you can kind of see them poking out the side there, but just about into the middle of the player, and it locks on to the player's head, which is pretty neat. And when you're holding it, it looks a lot cooler, I feel like, than what it looked like before. I really like that change. Another change is that the compass and the clock texture have been updated. You may have seen the compass up here as that icon for searching for items. It doesn't really change a lot if it is in your hand. So like, I don't notice a big difference with the compass texture, like actually using it as a player, but that bottom portion definitely seems a lot more shiny than the previous version. And then the clock is just a little bit updated. I don't know if I love the compass. I don't know. It seems fine. Obviously, you can go back to programmer art if you liked the other one. But it is a new texture. Candles have updated a little bit. They can now only be placed onto solid block surfaces. So like this will work, but then, oh wow. Wait a second. I did not expect that to work, actually. I thought that would break. But it doesn't seem to break, which is fantastic. But before, you could like kind of put down string and put candles on top of that to have them float. which you can't do anymore, and you couldn't do that like on, say, stairs that were on the stair face, so that it does have to be a solid block on the top. But good news is that if you do want floating candles, you can achieve that just by breaking the block underneath, and they will hang there in space. So like I couldn't, by the way, a solid thing, like I couldn't put candles on top of this stalagmite right there. So a small change to candles. So in previous snapshots, if you get into, whoops, I just walked. It couldn't have been any worse. Okay, let's try this again. Previous snapshots, if you walked into snow, you start to freeze and eventually take damage. And you had this option of like putting on lots of leather. Now, if you only have just a single leather piece, it doesn't matter what type of leather you are wearing, you will not freeze. That's not true for gold or iron or diamond or netherite. So now if you're wearing any type of leather armor, you will not take that freezing effect. There are some bundle changes. First off, if you have tooltips shown, which you have, if on Java Edition, you hit F3 and H, I think of it as hover, like when you hover over an item, you can see stuff. So this is with it not shown. And then if you want them shown, you do the H, and then you can see it will show fullness. So this bundle has a total of 64 items. So that is as full as it can be. So some things that are different is now you can take out things one at a time, and that'll take the first thing. So that lapis is the first thing in this bundle at the moment, and all you have to do is right click and it comes out. The next thing would be that orange dye that will come out, then the sticks, and then the light blue dye. And then of course we can put everything back in there, and it's the last thing. It's like first in, last out sort of thing, or last in, first out. So those sticks were the last thing I grabbed, so those will be the first. And you use this by just right-clicking, and that will drop the things into your inventory. So it's a very different situation, because before you used to right-click, and it would empty the entire bundle out into your inventory. And so now this is just going to be the last thing that you did. Now, if you completely open it, which I forget how, maybe if you're holding it in your hand, then it'll throw everything onto the ground. So if I just do this and I right click it here, yeah, everything just goes straight onto the ground. So you can like really empty it out quick, I guess. So there is no way to fully open a bundle anymore from the player inventory. If you want to get rid of it, you just hold it, right click it, and it all just kind of goes right there on the ground in front of you. I feel like that's a lot more intuitive. I almost wish that it was the first thing you put in there, or I wish there was some way for you to be able to choose. Like maybe if I hold down like shift on top of this bundle, it'll like go through and I could switch the next thing I'm going to pull out. But it's definitely a lot easier to manage this type of system instead of what it used to be, where it would just fully open a bundle. Now, if the first thing you put in the bundle is the thing that you need, then you have to still empty it out entirely to get to that first thing inside of the bundle. But I don't know. How else would you do it unless you have like a crazy submenu? And that's really it, other than also a whole bunch of bug changes and bug fixes and things like that. There's a ton in this snapshot. I cannot wait until we get some of the Skulker wireless redstone stuff. I noticed on Twitter some of the developers were talking about some options there. Really excited to see that in the future. Stalagmites, stalactites, dripstone. This is a pretty good one, and I think there's a lot of mechanics inside of the pointed dripstone that can be used. Like it's almost like a projectile. I want to see maybe enchantments work a little bit better with it, and you know, it can be waterlogged, which is kind of cool. It's going to definitely add a really neat atmosphere. I feel like these ones that I placed myself look really, really good. Can't wait to see what it looks like in world generation. Also, we have this dripstone right here that I added at the very beginning of the game. This is all just the first sort of stage of it. It didn't grow while I was recording this episode, and we've spent about an hour and a half on this episode. So at the moment, it doesn't look like dripstone is going to grow on its own unless it takes like a really, 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 really long time, like copper does. But that's the initial look at it. Seems like it will not grow on its own. Thanks so much for watching this episode of OMG Craft. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like. Also, make sure you subscribe and follow the channel for future videos. If you want to directly support me, there's a few ways you can do that. You can become a member of the channel by hitting the join button, finding out more information about that. Or you can buy my merchandise at HelloOMG.com. That's HelloOMG.com. And I think that we're going to have some Black Friday specials coming up. So make sure to check out the website right after Thanksgiving for some awesome deals on merchandise if you want merchandise. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on another episode of OMG Craft. Bye!